Hello and welcome to Bold Business Podcast Show. Today I'm delighted to be joined by Rachel Beck, owner of Vigor Vitamins. Hello, Rachel.
Hello, Roz. How are you?
I'm really good on this glorious sunshiny day. How about you?
Yes, very good. Thank you very much. I'm excited. I'm actually getting my teeth straightened this afternoon.
Oh, really?
My liners put in, yeah, at 41. I'm like, I will finally do it. So, yes, I'm very excited about that, actually.
That's amazing. Well, that leads us nicely into your business, I guess, then, because tell us about Vigor Vitamins, how that came about, and yeah, tell us about what made you start up this business.
People say a long story short, but it will just be a long story long, I think. I've always wanted my own business. I've always been in a kind of business setting, always people related, always management and sales, I suppose, which I actually don't like sales, but anyway, that's a part of the course. You've got to do it, haven't you? But I always wanted my own business. I always felt like I could do it more ethically and more morally than the businesses that I were in, say. But I never knew what to do it in. I never really had like a, passion that I followed or anything or any route that I went down. So I suppose I've searched over the years for something that I wanted to do it in. And the stars aligned. Last year, I was on my own health journey. I was overweight, probably drinking too much, not really exercising, not in a happy place physically and mentally with myself, and thought I would get myself fitter. Going through a divorce, all the normal 40-year-old stuff. And I was in recruitment actually, and I came across a company that manufactured vitamins. And at the time, I was looking for a vitamin for myself to kind of support my health journey that was like eco-conscious, quality, made in the UK. And I just couldn't find one that I thought was right. Anyway, at the time I got this in recruitment, I got a job in for a manufacturing business that made vitamins. They were based up in Ingleton. They were a family business and it was to run the business. And I applied for the job and put myself forward for it. Now, I got down to the last two, and they obviously saw my passion throughout the process. I had to do presentations on where I'd take the company and all this. And they gave it to the guy that had run a manufacturing business, which was probably wise. But they said, look, you're obviously passionate about this. You are wanting your own business. You've mentioned so many times. Why don't we help you formulate a vitamin and you can take it to market? So I thought that's a really kind offer and probably a silly idea. I was like, well, I've never done vitamins before. But the more I thought about it, the more I knew what I wanted for myself. And I thought, well, it's just not out on the market. I felt like the guy that was leaving the company reminded me of my dad, who I'd lost kind of 7 years ago. And it did feel like a bit of the stars aligned situation.
Yeah, love
And I'd
it.
also got some money from my ex-husband for the house. And so I had a pot of cash to be able to invest in it. So Vigor Vitamins was kind of conceived last April. And then we started selling Vigor Essential, which is our multivitamin, in October.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Wow. And so how's the journey been so far?
Um, eye-opening.
Really?
Uh, yeah, eye-opening. It's made me address a lot of things within myself that I didn't really realize that were holding me back generally in life. I don't know, that probably don't know if that makes sense, but
No, no, I get that. Like, I found like in my own business and also people that I work with as a business coach that going into running your own business is the most exposing thing you can ever do. You can't hide from anything. It will lay bare everything in your business.
yeah,
Running, you can't hide anything. You have to
yeah.
be completely authentic. It's going to shine a light on everything. So yeah. How have you found that?
Yeah, so the resilience side of things for
Yeah.
me, I've always been very capable. Sounds really big-headed, and I'm not like that generally, but I've always been very capable and naturally good at doing things,
Yeah.
apart from exercise, which I battle with, but everything else I've been fairly good with doing. And so therefore I've kind of learnt and a bit entitled way of just falling into something and being okay at it.
Yeah.
But with this, and normally I would quit something if I'm not good at it. So if I'm not doing well. I'm gonna, give it up. And you can't do that in business. So the amount of times that I've thought, oh, what's the point in this? Something's not happened immediately or whatever. And it's given me a lot of patience. It's given me a lot of resilience, and it's highlighted it in myself. And that has helped me in other areas like, gymming and my own health journey and strength training and all of that side of things as well. So yeah, it's been good. What about yourself?
Yeah, in business, I think completely. I think patience for me was the number one thing. It took me longer than I thought to learn patience, and I think I'm still learning.
Yes.
I am very much aware that patience is key. It's never going to happen instantly. And when you hear stories of overnight success, it's never overnight success. You may have
Yeah.
heard them overnight, but things take much longer. And but I think you're right, it's resilience, patience, tenacity, persistence, all of these things.
Mm.
And I think the biggest thing that it tests is your own feelings towards yourself, because
Hmm.
it's so easy to beat yourself up. So it's about compassion to yourself as well. You're
Yeah.
doing the best that you can. It's new stuff, whatever. But I think if you lose that, then you're sort of done for, and you're going down a slippery slope. But we were talking earlier about feelings and emotions and anxiety and how it
Mm.
impacts your head. So do you want to share a bit about your story in that respect, Rachel?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I first probably experienced anxiety in my late teens. It was a very strange situation actually, because I was sat in a restaurant with my family, and I must have been 18, 19, and we were in a circular. It was like a circular table, but one part of it was right in the corner, and I'd been kind of shoehorned to sit in the corner, and I said, "Can I not sit there? Is that all right?" Not being like a diva and being like, baby off Dirty Dancing, no one puts Rach in the corner. But it was because of this like fear of needing to get out. If I needed to get out of a situation. So I was kind of living on edge all the time. And it was weird because my dad said to me afterwards, he said, "Why did you want to get out of the corner?" And I said, I just felt really uneasy. I didn't want to sit there. I wanted to be able to escape and get out. And he said, "I think you might have a bit, a bit of anxiety." I had that in my teens and 20s, but he'd never told me about it. So it was really strange how it came up, because sometimes they say that kind of your parents plow it into you because they've spoken about it or whatever. I don't think he did that, but looking back now, it was definitely behavioural. His behaviour had probably pushed it into me, I suppose, or how we all handle situations. It's always coping mechanisms, isn't it? So yeah, I battled for years, decades with it. It stopped me. I say it stopped me doing things. It didn't. It made me do things very uncomfortably,
Yeah.
because I always had this fight with my head that was, why is my head telling me not to do something? So I always wanted to push through it, but it was to the point of sitting on aeroplanes and the doors shutting and me wanting to stand up and say, "Let me off this plane," which
Yeah.
God, would just be the most embarrassing situation in the whole world. But I have been in situations where I felt like I was going to explode and I didn't want to be there, and I felt like my body was fighting against what I was wanting to do, but I knew it was the only way to kind of push through it. So
How did you come through that? Just by will?
yeah, just keeping going. I've had counselling over the years, I suppose, to identify or try to identify what it was. I've tried alternative therapies, acupuncture, yoga, mindfulness, all meditation, all of it. I was put on antidepressants in my late 30s, actually, which I then worked to come off. I think I was iron deficient though, really. But over the years, I have got to the point and gone to doctors and said, I feel, like I'm on the edge of kind of thing. And they've offered me antidepressants over the years. And I've always declined because I always had it in my head that there'll be a root of it. And I just need to either get through the root of it or I just need to push past it. So I just kept doing the things that I hated. But I also did psychotherapy within the last couple of years, and that revolutionized the way I thought about myself, really.
Yeah.
Um, and that was kind of in line with the starting a business and in line with the getting on a healthy, a healthy journey. And it's probably all a self-worth thing rolled up into one, realizing you're better than you thought you were over the years, and therefore you deserve to be healthy and you deserve to be happy and you deserve to have your own business and you can do it. And I think it's just all snowballed now in a positive way. But
Yeah. It's amazing how it comes to us, like we have to work through this stuff and then it comes as we get older, doesn't it? The truth comes to us as we get older. What about Vigor Vitamins? I know you've got some exciting plans ahead. Do you want to share it?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, the idea with the multivitamin that we've got out was the fact that there wasn't one on the market that I thought ticked all the boxes. And for me, I wanted all the boxes ticked. So, eco-conscious, high quality, effective, no fillers, no junk, and the best way of getting it in your body. And also,
Before that, so why should people take your vitamins? Why would they want to take them?
well, it's weird because I do a lot of on my Instagram and everything. I do a lot of cooking and I do a lot of lifestyle stuff, and it's more. I don't think that these are a magic pill for someone. If you're feeling crap or you're not happy or you think you could have more energy or whatever, the thing to look at first is lifestyle. Are you eating well? Are you moving? Are you getting enough vitamins through food? So I'd like to start there firstly because I don't think I want to like force feed people supplements, but I have been deficient in the past of iron. I've been vitamin D deficient, and it makes you feel absolutely bloody horrible. And even if you are eating well and moving, sometimes you just don't get all the vitamins. Processed food, quality of food that we get now. We're sat on our desks and we're not outside getting vitamin D. So all of those rolled into one. So why should people take my vitamins? I suppose if you, as a nutritional insurance policy, really.
Yeah.
They have the 13 vitamins in that everybody needs every day, and they're as high quality as they can be. They're as effective and bioavailable in the body as can be, and they're made in Yorkshire, in the UK, so they've got good quality standards. But then also, because I was hunkering down for the perimenopause, I put in some choline bitartrate, which is something that we consume. It's just not classed as a vitamin, and that you get that from eggs. But it's really good for brain function and really good for brain function and cognitive function. And then there's also inositol in there, which is really good for hormone regulation. So the vitamin is good for anybody, man or woman, but I developed it specifically for women that were maybe hormonal, up and down, brain foggy, perimenopause, menopausal age, or for women that just wanted some nutritional insurance policy.
Yeah, I like that nutrition insurance policy. Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't like the fact of, you see a lot of supplement brands, don't you? And they're like ramming it down your throat that this is a magic pill for this and this will do this for this. I'd rather come at it from everyone wants to be healthy and everyone wants to lead a good lifestyle and try to do these bits first. But if you're low on stuff, you will feel rubbish, and this vitamin may help you do that. So yeah, that's my first product, and that's been out since October, and I do that on a subscription basis to women. But then I'm launching collagen in September.
Collagen, tell us more.
Very exciting. I mean, the rate that we lose collagen from the age of 20, like mid-20s, is just staggering. And it obviously is the jowly, you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm pushing my cheeks, and the jowliness of that, and the skin plump, that's all collagen. I think we're 70% collagen, something like that. And we're just depleting our stocks of it over the years. But also it does cartilage and bone joints and all of your internal stuff. So I've found a lot of collagen companies out there that are doing like the marine, or they're doing the bovine, or they're doing the vegan, which actually isn't collagen. It's amino acids that help your body produce collagen, because you can't get collagen from plants. It's a meat thing, or an animal product. So people do the bovine or they do the marine, and the marine's really good. It's got kind of It's more bioavailable, so it's got smaller particles, which means that you can absorb it better, and it's really good for skin, hair, and nails. But the bovine is good for skin, hair, and nails, but it's good internally. So I have mixed them both. I've done a blend of 50% of them. I've put them in a recyclable pouch, in line with the eco-conscious ethos. I do 31 servings a month because there's not actually 30 days in a month. Some months there's 31. So I've made sure that there's enough in for everybody. And I've dosed it quite high. So it's 8 grams a day. And you can have up to 2 servings of that, depending on how much you want. So I'm very excited it's coming out. I've had a lot of really good response from ladies, a lot of ladies that are already on collagen that were looking for a more local brand. So yes, it is exciting.
Yeah. Fabulous. So how can people find out? So you said you've got an Instagram account, but how can people find out more about you or even to subscribe to your vitamins? Where do they go, Rachel?
So they can go to vigorvitamins.co.uk. So Vigor is spelt Vigor because the domain was available. And it sounds better. It looks better than the UK spelling of Vigor, in my opinion. So that's why it was Vigor Vitamins. I've got UK Vigor Vitamins on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I hate TikTok though, but I'm on TikTok and Facebook, and I'm on LinkedIn. Anybody can message me if they've got questions. People sometimes say, I take this vitamin and I take this vitamin and I take this and that for that. And the rattle, they're on like 6 a day. Can one replace yours or whatever? So if they want to message me for advice, I'm more than happy to answer any questions they've got.
Fabulous. And so I'd like to ask you this question, Rachel, which is a question that I like to ask my guests. So in your time in business, imagine that I'm standing before you and I'm just got this idea for a business. I'm just about to start up. What one piece of advice would you give me?
Don't not start because you don't feel ready, because you'll never feel fully prepared or ready for it. You need to do it to learn, and you need to do it to get confidence. I was saying this to my mum about driving on motorways today because she was losing her confidence with driving. And I said, you will only get it by doing it more. Yeah. You need to do it and then get the confidence doing it. You'll figure everything else out as you go along.
Yeah, I love that. That's great. Just get stuck in. Just do it. Just go for it. Yeah.
Should just do it. It should be a slogan, shouldn't it, really?
It should be. Yeah. You might need to trademark that one. Just grab it. Well, fabulous. It's been so good to talk to you, and I wish you all the luck. I know you don't need any luck because it's such an exciting adventure. I love, you believe in it so much. You're a shining example of the impact of it. And I'm looking forward to joining you on this path as well.
Yeah, good. Thank you, Ros. It's been lovely to speak to you.